one's on yet, but still saying hi for the people that watch the recording later on. I'm doing a live video on YouTube for the first time, and I'm a little nervous, so don't judge me. So I reached 100 subscribers. What? So I'm very excited. I wanted to share my gratitude with everyone and offer some free readings. We're going to be doing oracle cards today to make it easier so it moves a little bit faster for everyone. I'm using the Nature's Whispers oracle card deck today. And yeah, so while I'm waiting for people to pop on, hopefully people do pop on, I have some announcements. Today is February 10th, 2018, so if you're watching this later, at least you'll know when I recorded this. So one thing that's pretty big is I'm considering changing the name of my business, the Creative Gypsy, and it's kind of a long story why I want to change it, but I think I'm going to explain that on my Instagram page later on or in another video at a later time. Once I figure out the new name, because it might take me a little bit until I'm like, yeah, that's it. I don't want to just pick a random one on a whim just to change it. But I'll explain later why I am considering changing the name. So another thing is all the artwork that I've been posting this month. I'm going to start doing that every month, and they're going to be up for sale on my website. Some of them already are, so you can go check them out. I'm keeping the prices super, super low just because I want to share them with people. I'm not like trying to make tons of money off of it. I mean, at least not yet. I mean, wishful thinking for the future. But I mean, like, I have a job already. This is what I do in my spare time for fun because I love doing this. So I try to keep my prices affordable for everyone. So my artwork is very affordable, and also my private readings are very affordable. That is another announcement that I want to bring up though. Starting March 1st, the prices that I have for private readings are going to go up a little bit. So if you want to get a private reading with me, make sure that you schedule with me before the end of February at the lower rate, because it's going to go up just a little bit. Not a huge amount, just, you know, a small difference just because of the amount of time that it takes me to do the readings and, you know, all that fun stuff. So supply and demand, basically. In a, you know, a little bit. So no one's on yet, so I'm just kind of talking to myself. That's okay. So another announcement is I am going to be offering, or I am offering, in-home Reiki sessions as well as distant Reiki. The ones that I do in my home, you have to be referred by somebody that I know, or you have to know someone that I know, just because I've had issues in the past with strangers. So I just want to know that I'm able to verify your integrity, you know, not to say that my viewers aren't untrustworthy, but you know what I mean, like bringing somebody into my home that I don't know. My husband isn't too crazy about that, so I made this rule that you have to know someone that I know if you want to get an in-home Reiki session with me, for now. For distant Reiki is, I think it's more than half the price of, well actually it's about half the price of a in-home Reiki session. So distant Reiki is, I can do from the comfort of your home. We can Skype or FaceTime, Google Chat, whatever works best for you. Or we don't even have to be virtually in contact, you know, just because energy is it goes anywhere. So there's no boundaries when it comes to Reiki, which is why distant Reiki is so great. If anyone knows anyone that does Reiki, they know that they can, that person can send you Reiki at any time, and you don't have to be in the same room as them. So that's why I'm offering this option for distant Reiki, especially for people that don't live, in this area where I currently reside. So another thing is, I know that I've been kind of dragging my feet on getting the rest of the February videos up. I still have to put up Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces videos. So I just did the Capricorn video. So that one's going to be up tonight for sure. All the other ones are going to be up tomorrow, which is Sunday, February 11th. Been dragging my feet a little bit. Sometimes I'm a couple days late, but this is like ridiculous, and I apologize for that. I'm going to blame the lunar eclipse that happened recently, because since then I've been like frazzled and like ungrounded and very, very tired. So I don't know. I'm getting myself back into the groove of my normal routine, and so I apologize for the late, postings for those videos. That won't happen again, hopefully, at all. So anyone that's waiting for those videos, that's why. So another thing is, every time I get 100 more subscribers to my YouTube channel, I'm going to do these live readings. So if you were not able to get a free reading this time, when I hit 200, when I hit 300, 400, 500, I'm going to be doing live videos of free readings for, first come, first serve, probably for about an hour long, and then after that I'm going to end it, or if I start to feel drained before then, I may stop it earlier. So just something to keep in mind for the future. And I may be starting a Patreon site as well, but that is still in the thought process, so keep an eye out for that. As of right now, you can subscribe to my newsletter by going to my website, thecreativegypsy.net, not .com. If you subscribe to my newsletter, I'll be sending you weekly readings for the month, or for the week, whatever. So that's what I'm doing right now. So only the people that are subscribed to the newsletter are going to get those weekly videos. Hi, Glitter Sunflower. Hello. I think you're from, what is that group on Facebook? The Wild Woman Sisterhood, I think. So that's pretty cool. In England. Awesome. So I just did some announcements. So glad that you're on. You're my first one on here. We're going to be doing some live readings. I'm using the Oracle card deck, Nature's Whispers. So I don't know your actual name, but Glitter Sunflower. Oh, my husband's calling. I have to turn that off. Would you like a free reading? Debbie. Woohoo. Okay, so I'm going to give you a reading right now. So I'm just shuffling the Oracle cards, and I like to wait to see which one jumps out, but if it takes a super long time, I may just grab one or two. Oh. Catch Your Breath just jumped out for you. Have you been running around a lot lately? Because I was just saying a little bit ago that I've been feeling pretty ungrounded since the lunar eclipse. Kind of not sticking to a routine and just kind of running around very unplanned and all of that. But maybe for you, it's like too many responsibilities, like saying yes to too many things, and kind of getting exhausted in that way. Really tired since the new moon. Yeah. Absolutely. The full moon. Oh well, the full moon just recently happened. The new moon's coming up in a few days, I think. So yeah. So this is saying catch your breath. So I think, yeah, low energy. Totally low energy. Absolutely. This fairy is not very enthused about the way things are right now. She's hugging that tree, kind of as a way of grounding herself and getting some energy back. I kind of feel like working with some plant energy is going to help you get yourself rooted again, pun intended. So definitely check that out. And acorns, something about like saving. So yeah, so it's about like saving that energy. I'm gonna say it's about the energy. So the acorns, you know, the squirrels kind of store away acorns for a later day, you know, for the winter, because there's acorns in here. I'm going to show you. Stowing away acorns for another day, almost like I can't think of the word, but basically like having a reserve. Absolutely is something you need to work on. Having a reserve of energy for yourself, not for everyone else. You know, I'm seeing soaking in a salt bath would really help tremendously for you. So that's also something to consider. Just looking up some ways, just honoring where you are right now and slowing down. That was one of the messages for Gemini this month, which I'm a Gemini. Slowing down. Anything for love. Sure, let's see what we got here. So that may also be in regards to love as well, like self-love this month, more than anything else. Because how are you going to connect with somebody when you are drained, you know? How can you really fully be present when you're ungrounded? I should probably put this back in the deck. Yeah, how can you be present in love when you're ungrounded? How can you offer love to others when you're drained? Intuition. So intuition came out here, and I feel like there's a disconnect from your intuition. I don't feel like you're really connected, and I think that's just because your energy has been so low, you haven't given yourself any time to breathe. So I think this is all about the time in between breaths. Really is how you get yourself reconnected to your intuition. So if you've been feeling like you're running around, I keep wanting to say like a chicken with my head cut off, like a bird running around like a bird with my head cut off. So it's definitely taking some deep breaths, especially when you're unsure about certain things. Like if there's people that are pursuing you that you're unsure about, you need to take those deep breaths to get yourself reconnected within, to get the answers you need and regain that trust in yourself to make those decisions, if that makes sense. Is not telling the truth. Yeah, so if you know that they're not telling the truth, then they're not as in separated. Yeah. I would say that's if someone's not telling you the truth, it's almost like there's no respect there. They don't respect you or themselves enough to trust you with their honesty. So that's something to consider, like listening to what your intuition is telling you about those situations, draining your energy because you're trying to read between the lines to really get the answers that you feel that you need. And it's like, is this a waste of my time and energy? Most likely. So that's something to consider. Obviously, I don't know the person. I don't know you personally. So, take these messages for yourself and, take the messages that resonate with you and then leave the rest. So somebody else is on here right now, and they're not saying anything, and I'm just kind of curious if they're still there, because I would love to give them a reading as well. Maybe. I'm going to tap on here. So this is the first time I've ever done a YouTube live thing, so I can't really tell if they're still actually there or not. So if you're there, please comment so that I can give you a reading. Okay. Hello, other person. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to pull a card here, just a random card for anyone that's watching later on for the recording when it posts later, or anyone that pops on right now. I'm just going to kind of pick a topic to talk about, like whatever is being guided to come out. Oop. Oh, we got two. Ha! Look at that. That same card came out again. Catch your breath. Catch your breath and shifting your energy. So I think that's something for all of us to consider during this time, especially since I think that I personally feel that the lunar eclipse that happened recently kind of threw us all off a little bit, especially since it was in the sign of Aquarius. During the sign of Aquarius, and the moon was in the sign of Leo. So it's fire and air energy, and it just like elevates you more and more and more and more and more ungrounded, and that energy just like really, woo, just a matter of time before you just like really take off, basically. So this is saying we need to shift our energy and get ourselves reconnected with that earth energy. Tree hugging. So that for me is all about grounding that energy. So that is something to consider for the rest of this month for anyone that's watching this, or at any time in the future. If you are watching this video, it's because the universe is trying to get your attention and let you know that, hey, you're ungrounded. Let's get yourself recentered here. Let's shift our vibration a little bit. So, closer to the lunar eclipse, I think it was like right before, I was like feeling very fiery, ready to take on the world, dancing, having a great time. And after the lunar eclipse hit, I was just like so much in my head, like just constantly thinking and like doubting and judging and like ungrounded and not sure what I'm doing, kind of energy, not being rooted in like the physical plane like at all. Basically just like totally taking off. So as you shift your energy to get yourself more rooted in this reality, everything will start to fall into place again. So like balancing the energy between the spiritual and the physical world is very much needed right now. If you're feeling very much stuck in your head, I would start, I would go outside, go out in nature. I know that it's pretty cold for a lot of us right now. Another thing to consider is eating very grounding foods. So like root foods would be great. Or just any kind of vegetable in general is going to really help to ground you. Obviously, I'm going to suggest eating healthier foods rather than fried and carbs and things like that, which a lot of empaths kind of just go to right away as a way of I think a lot of empaths like to just fill their stomach with something as a way of feeling weighted back down to the ground. In that way, in like getting themselves back in their own body. So that is just something to consider as well. Eating healthier foods. So it still says that there's a second person on here and they're not saying anything, so I'm not really sure what to do. So if nobody else pops on, I'm probably going to wrap it up in a few minutes here. So I'm just going to see if there's any other messages that we need to know during this time. We are getting closer to the new moon. I honestly don't know what sign it's going to be in, though. You're welcome. I honestly don't know what sign it's going to be in, but I can tell you that new moons in general are all about new beginnings for that cycle. So like creating new intentions for the upcoming cycle. Like what do you want to achieve for yourself in the next like 28 days? And usually you want to just build off of what you've been working on, the cycle before. Just a little bit more at a time. That's how you achieve success. It's like one small step at a time and working on that and then adding a little bit more into it and then working on that and improving as best as you can. Sometimes you fall backwards, but that's all right too. This is the world we live in. So let's just see if there's anything else. Two cards again. Culmination of vision. And hope and happiness. So when I see this card, I feel like you're on the edge of, attaining something that you've been striving for. I know, I love these cards. Isn't the artwork amazing? It's Josephine Wall is the artist. They're awesome. These are Nature's Whispers Oracle cards. I highly recommend them. So I feel like whoever's watching this is on the precipice of attaining something that they've wanted for themselves in their lives, or is kind of saying like, get your head back in the game, refocus your goals, or get refocused on your goals for yourself, get realigned. So shifting your energy, like we said earlier, but also like getting yourself refocused on what's most important to you and focusing on that rather than all these other things, trying to do too many things at once. Like I was just saying a minute ago, like one step at a time, but towards one thing specifically. And then once you get to a certain point where it can like really build on its own, then you can bring in another aspect of whatever it is you're trying to achieve or some other totally different project. Be like, okay, so I've given all of my attention to this one area of my life and like it's, able to thrive on its own now. So now I can really put all of my attention and heart into this area of my life, whether it's projects or like, this relationship and then this relationship. So it's like work on healing this relationship. And then once it's like steady, then I can work on healing this relationship. It's really difficult to try to focus on more than one relationship all at once, because it becomes very overwhelming and very draining. So the way to get yourself refocused is to get yourself into your happiness. Like, what is it that brings you joy? Let's bring that back into our lives. Like, I've been dancing every week. I didn't this past week just because the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so I was dancing on my own, and during that time, I'm from Philly. Yeah, so like, what used to bring you joy when you were little, you know? So really considering that, like, what would your inner child want you to be doing in your spare time? Binge watching Netflix every single day, sitting on the couch, eating chips? Like, probably not. Maybe a little bit, if it's something funny or makes you smile, absolutely. But, you know, going out and having fun in other ways. Go out dancing again if you haven't been doing that in a long time. Go play some sports. Go for a walk, you know. Go to a concert. Go to an art museum. Anything that's going to spark that fire back under your ass. This is a time of like coming back out into the world. Like, you know, a lot of us have been hibernating a lot lately because of winter and all the energies of 2017. So now this time is saying it's time to come back out. You know, all the internal work that we've been doing, you've been doing a great job, but now it's time to bring it out into the world. All the lessons that you've been learning, you know, all the internal work will serve you, yes, but you have to bring it out into the world with everyone around you. It's time to come back outside, you know. So sharing those lessons with others, and then you will find that you're tested at certain points in your life, and that's when you apply those lessons. That's what they're there for, to apply them to certain aspects of your life. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So I think that's a good place to wrap this up. Thank you, Debbie, for coming on. Somebody else came on too, and I'm not sure who it is, but that's okay. Hi, how you doing? I wish that you were commenting because then I could provide you with a reading, but maybe those other cards that I pulled up are what you needed to hear. And for anyone that's watching the recording for later on, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Please go to my website, thecreativegypsy.net, for a private reading. Again, I may be changing that name soon, so just keep an eye out for that. I'll be posting a video on here and stuff on my Instagram as well, just to make sure everyone knows. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at thecreativegypsy. And please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Take care.